All right, YouTube. Welcome in. We are back with another battle. This time we have the Fluppy Avengers facing off against the Scavengers. Two teams that went 1-0 in round one facing off. There will only be one remaining undefeated team. Let's get right into it. All right, so we are here in the battle. We have the Scavengers facing off against the Fluppy Avengers. We've already started a little bit, had a couple switches around. We've had a Volt Enchant, we've had Mealursa, we've had Voltatu, Metacrow, and Jalopy, as then Sinilus gets brought in, and all of a sudden we know the first three Doodles on either side. Dispose put in play, already likely to counter the Mealursa setup. And here comes the Malzuri as it eats the Chaotic Bolt for just about 40%. Another swap, Giorna. Now we know 4 different Doodles on each side. The Tsunami, pretty good damage for a not very effective attack. Was Giorna likely to finish it off? And another switch. We're going back and forth and back and forth. Hyper Voice for 50%. That's good news for Giorna, but this Voltatu likely has Jolt. And we'll see. Probably see another switch in by Jur for the Scavengers. Once again, it's just back and forth and back and forth. The aerial, massive damage. And it's looking really good for TFK. Has to take another hit. Tanks the aerial with Volt Enchant. Massive damage by the Voltatu. But the Volt Enchant hangs on. Goes for a Shock Therapy. Very interesting play. Trying to heal up a little bit. Maybe thinking of a switch. But TFK goes all attack. And Jur backed in a corner. As the aerial finishes it off, it does more than the Shock Therapy. Here comes Small Mistake, the first overall pick. The Artifixie. Looking to do some big damage. Here comes Bubble. For the Quick Ice. A little bit of damage, but the Bubble. Very interesting. If this thing awakens, I believe it'll be immune to ice moves. So we might have to see another switch by Jur. It's been a high intensity, high action game so far. Here's the last Doodle for them. Sarah, and the Aqua Cannon comes out for Bubble. Now he has to swap out into something else, you gotta think. We only don't know one Doodle, and here comes the Jalopy, who tanks the Rusty Roots massively thanks to the defensive Jelly. And has to swap out once again into the Mealursa with the Menacing Snarl. Lower its attack a tad bit, but Jalopy goes for the takeout, and it's a good switch in for TFK. Brings in the Voltatu against the Food and Insect Bear. Has to swap out once again, and Sinilus has to get sacked, and Fluppy Avengers with a strong lead. Artifixie brought in to counteract as the Voltatu has to swap out into the Metacrow. And Artifixie goes for Kona Cold. Good damage, but I don't believe another hit will kill it. Did he go for it again? No, it's no good. Metacrow goes for the heal. Heals most of it up. I believe it healed more than it got hit. Smart play by TFK, but there's only so many heals you can use. And Mealursa is brought in. Menacing Snarl once again on the Goo Blast. Good prediction play there. Unless it doesn't have a dark move. Mealursa trying to finish off something. Can Jur and the Scavengers get at least a knockout in this battle? Jalopy and the Bee Summons getting brought up. Good chip damage against a team that swaps around quite often. And there's Sonata of Darkness on the Jalopy. 2 turns left for each side. Honey Slap on the Jalopy. Protect. They're sacking. Mock Charge. It doesn't do anything. It's one turn left. Jur has to either swap out or sack the Meowlursa. Meowlursa swaps out into Girocera as the Jalopy goes for a takeout. Perfect play for TFK to get the Voltatube back into the swing of things. But the bees. That's something TFK has to take account for. But the Voltatube might have a Shifting Winds. Oh, it goes for Chemical Cleave after a trade. Very interesting play. That likely means this Voltatube had the Enchanted Sapphire, which is why it did so much. That means Girocera now locked into the Chemical Cleave. And with that, the Malzuri is completely immune to the Girocera. Perfect play by TFK. Even though he had to sack the Voltatube against what could have been good competition, Girocera has to swap out. And Malzuri gets a free move. It goes for Rest. And it has the Wake Up Jelly, so it gets a free full heal as the Artifixie gets brought in. Here comes the Jalopy. Cone of Cold. Smart play. Tried not to go for the Mind move in case of Metacrow, but Jalopy would be faster. Meowlursa brought in. It's Jalopy. Not a lot of health left. Smart play by Jur for the Protect. And Meowlursa gets brought in for free. Jur getting a little bit of momentum for the Scavengers as they go for Sonata of Darkness. Honey Slap gets the knockout. Jur has some momentum as both sides have 4 Doodles remaining. But we still don't know what the last Doodle TFK has. Malzuri brought in once again. And Meowlursa swapped out into the Girocera. Tsunami with a critical hit on the Girocera. Still pretty good damage after the crit. I'm not sure if it'll matter too much because of the refresh, but this is a good spot for TFK to see what happens. There's the Fluppy. Shouldn't have been a surprise. The last Doodle was the Fluppy. And here comes the Artifixie. The bees attack the Fluppy, so it will not have the Superliminal boost. And this Artifixie can do massive damage. It goes for the Cone of Cold. It gets the knockout. And all of a sudden, the tides have turned. Jur has the lead. The Bee Summon working out massively. And it's a 4v3. Artifixie versus the Metacrow has to swap out or else it will get knocked out. Meowlursa brought in once again. It goes for the heal. Smart play. Either way, what happened? Cone of Cold didn't do enough. And Honey Slap doesn't do enough, but the Metacrow becomes a food type. Wonder how interesting that'll be considering the Giorna back there. Bees once again. Honey Slap once again. Good damage. Jelly Lever once again, though. So the Malzuri can get another free rest off and fully heal. But this Meowlursa could do big damage. Quick Sting gets the knockouts. And Jur has a 4v2 lead. All of a sudden, it was all in TFK's favor at the start. Bubble brought in to counteract the Meowlursa, but the Meowlursa gets the Honey Slap off. There's the Tidal Slam to get the KO on this Meowlursa that did massive damage to the Fluppy Avengers. Giorna brought in to finish the job. It's Bubble and Metacrow versus the world. This Bubble gets pretty much beat up by this Giorna because it is now a food type. Weak to the water and beast moves that Giorna has. Meanwhile, the Metacrow in the back will have to also weak to the beast move. It's really looking grim for TFK. Fatal Fury finishes off the Bubble, and it looks like it might just be over. Metacrow, the last hope. Hit by the bees, 50% remaining. And a Feral Fury lands the knockout, and Jur for the Scavengers gets the win with 3 remaining. What an end. GG's, well played. No way out of this one. What a game that was. It was all in the Avengers' favor. Then all of a sudden, boom, Jur, couple smart plays, the B summon with some great predictions, and that will end it off. Thank you guys for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, like, and join my server in the description if you want to join these future tournaments and leagues. I'll see you later.